20 minutes of cannon fire that ended 1,000 years of kings ruling Europe. September 20th, 1792. Most people think the French Revolution was all about cutting off heads in Paris. But here's what's crazy. The real moment that changed everything happened in a muddy field most people can't even pronounce. Valmy. And the story I found in these historical guides and research documents will blow your mind. Today, I'm breaking down how one short battle created the modern world. Not through some epic sword fight or brilliant strategy, through something way simpler and way more powerful. So here's what makes this story wild. France declared war on Austria in April 1792. Sounds normal, right? Countries fight all the time. But get this, the French king actually wanted his own country to lose. Louis XVI was secretly hoping the professional Prussian army would crush France's ragtag revolutionary forces. Then he could swoop back in, restore his absolute power, and execute everyone who had challenged him. The king was literally rooting against his own people. Now picture the French army marching to meet the Prussians. 6,000 noble officers had already fled the country. The remaining troops? Half were untrained volunteers who'd never held a musket. Meanwhile, the Prussian army was the scariest fighting force in Europe. Professional soldiers, perfect discipline, they'd steamrolled every enemy for decades. But here's the twist nobody expected. The French had kept their artillery corps intact. Those cannons were operated by the best trained gunners on the continent. And on September 20th, that made all the difference. So both armies line up near this tiny village called Valmy. The Prussians are confident. They figure these French peasants will run at the first shot. The cannons start firing around noon, back and forth for hours. Then a Prussian cannonball hits a French ammunition wagon. Boom! Massive explosion right near the French headquarters. For a moment, it looks like the French line might break. But then, General Kellermann does something that changes history forever. He rides to the front, raises his hat on his sword, and shouts, "Vive la Nation!" Not long live the king, long live the nation. Every French soldier takes up the cry. They start singing their new anthem, the Marseillaise, under enemy fire. This wasn't an army fighting for a king anymore. This was citizens fighting for an idea. The Duke of Brunswick, who was leading the Prussian army, saw the situation and made a decision that would be remembered for centuries. His soldiers were falling sick, the supply lines were too long, and the French were not running away as expected. So he decided to retreat. The strongest army in Europe was pulling back from an army of French volunteers. And the very next day, France ended its monarchy and declared the birth of the first French Republic. This didn't happen through a dramatic palace takeover, but because ordinary citizen soldiers had shown they could stand against kings. That short 20-minute cannon attack at Valmy changed the meaning of war, introducing a powerful new force, nationalism, where soldiers fought not for money or fear, but because they believed in something greater than themselves.